With great bravery, heroes and champions and even time itself put the eternal scourges from the stars to rest. As each in turn was felled, a great insult was dealt to the other cosmic beings, who felt themselves immortal and above all. Even when the bodies of the Great Ones stirred and again threatened civilization, heroes were present once more to deliver the same insulting blow. Some Elder Gods, though, refused to suffer their fate kindly, and would go to extreme lengths to prove that they were, indeed, masters of the universe and everything in it.
Hello, my honey. Hello, my rack.
As the final part of Cthulhu's reanimated corpse was defeated, the people of Terraria rejoiced. But no amount of celebration changed the fact that every time a monster had been sent back to their squalid slumber, another was waiting to rise from the Crimson's creep or the Corruption's foul touch. Even though what remained of the Eldritch horrors had finally been destroyed, this time would still be no different. For far across galactic stretches of space, incomprehensible minds considered the events on Terraria and were not pleased. The Moon Lord, who had sent his brother, the late and great god Cthulhu, to capture this world, seethed with rage. His anger so great that entire worlds around him were incinerated. He knew sending more of his minions would only result in yet more failure, so conceived of a plan like no other the cosmic pantheon ever had. It was a plan of such monstrous design that many of the Eldritch gods outright rejected their involvement. Some even turned their backs on the Moon Lord altogether, and one launched an attack on him that would ultimately only serve to benefit the despicable plot. Having seen all and knowing all that was to come, the Outer God Yog-Sothoth worked to prevent the inevitable destruction of the Moon Lord in the coming future by defeating his plans now. Despite all his knowledge though, the Outer God, in the writhing mass of flesh and tendrils it had taken as its body, was no match for the sheer force of the Moon Lord and his minions. Although his consciousness managed to escape back to his own realm, the twisted dream reality beyond the fabric of our universe, the host of Yog-Sothoth was swiftly captured, along with the latent cosmic knowledge that remained in the nerve clusters of its horrific appendages. The Moon Lord methodically dissected its prize, studied its nature, and consumed its flesh to absorb the knowledge it held, all the time driving more and more of his sickened brethren away. He cared little for their concerns though, guided solely by his lust for revenge. Alone he studied the knowledge he had assimilated, uncovering such truths that would drive any sane person out of their mind. But to the Moon Lord, it was simply another means to an end. Finally, he comprehended a vast and terrible possibility, a way to true immortality for the fallen ones, and maybe even himself. Commanding his minions to dismantle entire stars and solar systems, he took the festering corpse of Yog-Sothoth and smelted the iron cores of whole worlds onto its flesh, created intricate circuitries with unknown elements forged in the heart of dying stars, and birthed an abomination beyond anything Azathoth could have ever dreamt. A colossal and unfeeling eldritch creation, half machine, half god. Although thoughts pulsed through its brain, it knew not of its own existence, possessing ignorance to rival that of the idiot god itself. Still, it missed a quality, something the Moon Lord demanded from all of his subjects: absolute obedience. He decided stakes were too high to merely risk giving it commands that may be misunderstood, so he chose to give it himself, tearing his own body asunder and grafting a part of his own essence onto the pitiful thing, allowing him to take direct control of it like an extension of his own being. He felt the tendrils move in his mind, the great metallic claws grasping out into space, and he considered his options. With this creation he could build anything he chose in cybernetic form. A new pair of legs, he mused, but his lust for destruction still remained, and his focus turned back towards Terraria. The planet's people had greatly feared the creatures they had defeated, chiefly Skeletron, the Eater of Worlds and the Eyes of Cthulhu. Yes, he decided, they would be reborn under his direct command, and so the Eldritch Machine moved, its terrible limbs shifting in precise, deliberate movements, to piece together parts of worlds and cosmic matter to form the mechanical beings he would send down to Terraria to reignite the most awful of its people's nightmares. No longer could these creatures be truly destroyed, for if one fell then another would be born at the forge, and sent to continue the terror. Still, the champion of Terraria would overcome the threat, if not defeat it altogether, and face the Moon Lord, still maimed from the sacrifice to the child of his vengeance. But even after his defeat, the great machine of godly creation would remain. It is unknown if the Moon Lord survived, transferring his consciousness into a realm beyond, as Yog-Sothoth had. Maybe one day he may return, and take back control of the forge to form himself a new body, one of glistening metal, which could be reborn infinitum. What is known is that in the interim, one of the mechanical creatures, the recreation of Skeletron, uncovered the soul of his original incarnation. Absorbing it, he chose to return to the forge and create a new, even more powerful body, one with which he could strike out into the universe and pursue his own desires. And along with his new mandate came a new name, Omegatron. Galaxies would fall before his will, and once again, he would take his place as an outer god and an eternal being of the universe.